Hello and very warm welcome to RAFLIMS. This is Farooq Hussain. In this hands-on video tutorial, we will learn how we can download and install Koha 22.11 on Ubuntu 22.04, that is current LTS. But before we start, I would like to request you to please watch this video completely and carefully to create your guideline, command line to install Koha at your own, but also the all my videos to create the command line or the guideline at your own, and the template or script or whatever, because my concern is to educate you about the information management technology or the library technology. A number of people ask me, and I actually provided them the guideline and the command line and so on. But what I said, you should watch this video, not only this video, but also all videos carefully and try to learn at your own. When you try to create your own guide, you will learn better instead of using ready-made template. But still, if you need any assistance, any support, any guide, any template, I'm always available here. Don't worry about it. Okay, now let us start with this video. What we need to do, we need to open our terminal. This is Ubuntu 22.04, that is current LTS, and this Ubuntu is installed on a virtual machine through the VMware. And there you can see this is a Windows. On Windows 10, I have installed this Ubuntu through the VMware. And there are some other applications like VM, Oracle VM VirtualBox. So you can have this. Oracle VM VirtualBox is completely free as compared to VMware. You need to have a license for VMware. I have 15.5 Pro license, and this window is also licensed, because Koha is not supportive with the Windows or not install on Windows. So we can use VMware to create Ubuntu virtual machine on Windows, and we can install Koha on the Ubuntu easily, or we can use any Linux operating system like Debian instead of Ubuntu. But Koha is actually support or install on Linux operating system, either whatever the distribution like Ubuntu or the Debian. The very famous is Debian. So anyhow, the next thing we need to install the command line that I have here on my Windows. Let me copy here on my Ubuntu. And I put in the home folder document. Okay. I hope you can see this. The most important thing is to open your terminal by pressing Ctrl Alt T. You can use this applications menu as well. So I have opened this terminal, and let me activate the admin mode by writing sudo su. Sudo su is to activate the admin mode. See, when I press enter, it will ask me the password, and now I am a root. Root mean I am the administrator of this machine, so I can install Koha or any other package here. The next thing is to update and upgrade your Ubuntu system. What you need to do, you need to write sudo app get update one by one or both together, like sudo apt get upgrade. If you want to see the size of the file, you just press the enter and it will show you the size of the upgrade file. Or if you just want to go ahead without seeing the file, you can you can write Y and press enter. Now it will perform the both function update and upgrade without asking the permission, because you have already provided the permission saying Y, the yes. Okay. Okay, done. Let me clear this and I'll show you the next command. Now you can pause your video and you can note the command or the guideline. I'm not saying I'm not provide the command line, but my concern that you will enable yourself. Okay, now what I am going to do, let me show you. I'm going to add the Debian repository of stable version in Ubuntu system. The Koha Debian repository in Ubuntu system. See, this is stable main. If I want to install a previous version, the old version, so I can say I can provide the version name here, or I can write the old stable here, like 22.05. This is just an example, but I want to install the stable one, so I will go with the stable and the current version. Now press enter and it will add the Debian, and then here I'm going to add the source key of Koha by using this command. Say, you can see this is the address and then the source key. You can note this command, it's quite easy. And when you press enter here, it will say OK and the 100% result here. Now the next thing is you need to update once again to have the Koha packages on your system. But before doing that, let me clear this and update. You just need to write sudo apt-get update. Okay. And don't worry about this. Now we are going to install the Koha common. See, to install any package, we just need to, let me clear this. To install any package in Ubuntu, we just need to say sudo apt-get install and the package name. For example, Koha common. Or if we want to install the MySQL, we just replace the MySQL-server. Now you can see the file, because you have not saying the yes. You can see the file size here and the additional disk requirement here, and let me enter Y and press enter. It might take a few time, it's 4%, and it will take maybe some time to have the installation. It's actually depend on the speed of your internet. If you are working with a fast internet, it will go quickly, but if your internet is not so fast, so it will take time. Okay, now let us see what happens. So let me log in here, and it has done. So let me clear. See, 22.11.00-4. so let me clear here. And now the next thing that I need to do is to configure the Koha site configuration file. Let me show you what actually I'm going to do. Here is the command, and you can see it's sudo gedit. Gedit is actually the editor of Ubuntu system. And then we have etc file. Etc is one of the directory, it's not the file. Then in this directory, this is the main folder. By directory we mean folder, and this is the main folder. etc, and in etc we have Koha folder, and in Koha folder we have koha-sites.conf, that is configuration file of Koha sites. So we can configure Koha sites here, and when we click enter it will open the file. And don't worry about all such warnings. So there you need to provide the intra port for the staff interface and the port for opaque. By default it is 8080 is actually the port. I mean, by 80 we mean no port, but if we want to add one port we can have, and that is actually the default setting 80. So instead of using default setting we use the custom setting here, and 8001 for staff interface. And there you can see you can provide the domain name if you have any domain, so you can provide it, but I'll show you how actually you configure the network for remote site. Here I'm going to use the local host, but I'll show you how actually you configure the remote site. Save here. Remember 8001 for staff interface and 8000 for opaque, and close this. Let me clear this, and again I need to install MySQL server. After doing this, the same command we need to use, it's sudo apt get install MySQL server. That's it. Press enter and you will see the size of the file and the disk requirement when you will say yes, and it will start installation. And it's quite easy. First it will get the package and then it will install, similar like you install in your Android system. Ubuntu, I mean the Android system is also Linux and Ubuntu is also Linux. So now MySQL is running on PID 12867. It has done now. Let me clear this, and there we need to activate two modes of Apache. See, to activate any mode we need to write the mode name and the sudo a2 enable mode. What is the mode name? Rewrite. And it's saying you that you need to activate, I mean you need to restart Apache because it's an Apache mode. The next mode is the CGI, sudo a2 enable, en is for enable, and then mode, or the mode name is CGI. Okay, after doing this we need to restart Apache. You can see it's Apache restart command here, system control restart Apache, SYSTEMCTL for control, restart Apache. Apache is actually the web server of Koha. Whatever you see on your browser is through Apache, either the staff interface or the Koha opaque. Now it has restarted. After doing this, after the restart, this one is actually the old command to restart Apache service, but it's still working and you can use this command. The main thing is now to create Koha instance. To create Koha instance you need to copy this command, and let me clear this, and you need to write this command to start create the Koha main database. There you need to remember one thing. See, this is your instance name, it's library, or you can replace, this is the default instance name library, or you can replace with any instance, for example reflimps. The command is sudo koha-create space --create database, that is, and the space the database name, the main database of Koha, I would say library. And now you can see this is okay and okay for the daemon. There are two daemons who are started, and you can see there you will see some error. This is not actually the error, it's saying use this address instead of using localhost. Now after doing this, what we need to do next, You need to configure Apache ports similar like the Koha site ports. So we have this file. It's a sudo gedit. Again, it's the editor, and then the main folder of Koha etc, and then we have Apache 2 folder, and then we have port conf, that is configuration file. So now let me copy this and paste here. Sudo gedit etc is the directory. By directory we mean a folder. In this directory we have Apache folder, and then we have koha.configuration file, and there we need to provide the port. Those we have entered in the Koha configuration file. So we will start with the 8000 and another port, that is 8001 for staff interface. Now save this and close this and clear this, and now back to the command lines. So after the port configuration we need to restart Apache. So we can use this command, or we can use the new command, that is system systems control. It has restarted. Okay, now we need to disable the default site, because we need to enable the Koha configuration site. So it says sudo a2dis is for disable, site is for site, and the site name is 000-default. It's again saying to restart Apache, and we will restart Apache here. Yes, of course we need to enable 2 more modes here. And enable the Koha library site here. See, sudo a2 enable en is for enable, and the site name is library. Whatever the instance you have select, you need to provide instance name here, and saying already enabled. And now we need to restart Apache once again, and then we need to check the password of Koha, your instance name. You can change this password. If you want to change, you can change the password, the master password, but remember this password used for once only. And after creating a super librarian, you have to log in with the super librarian. Now see, this command is quite easy. It's sudo, let me clear this and I'll show you. What was the command? It was the sudo koha-password wd and the instance name. Whatever the instance you select, you need to provide the instance name. And now you can note this password. It's quite strong, but if you want to create your own, you can actually change this. So I'll leave the link to the video about how you change the master password and how you can secure the MySQL here. So I have copied this, and let me clear this and paste password here. Save this. Okay, now I have completed the installation, and let me exit here. It has done. Okay, now it's time to open the web browser, and there you need to provide the address 127. I think it was 0, 0, 1, and the staff interface. Remember, you need to start with the staff interface. 8001 we have selected for a staff interface. Instead of using localhost, you need to provide this address. Now you need to provide the Koha _ the instance name that you have created and the password that you have saved. This password will use once only on your browser, web browser, but you need to save this password to work on the Koha configuration file if you want to work. Now we are going to enter in the web installer of Koha 22.11, where we need to complete some settings, and then we need to work on the onboarding tool. So you can see choose your language, so you can select your language. By default there's English only, but you can add some languages, your required languages there, or not only on a staff interface but also on Opaque. So there's a complete video available about how you can add different languages in Koha. So if you need, the link may be available in description or on the I button. So it has completed the language. Now it's going to check the Perl dependencies. Perl is actually the scripting language of Koha, and it's going to check all the dependencies of Perl. And you can see the database setting, though, I mean, the type is MySQL, and the database name is Koha underscore library, and it's on localhost. The port name and the database username is also Koha underscore library. And now it's going to check the database settings. Those are written here. Okay, so it's saying the connection established, and we need to move further. So far step 3 we have done, and now step 4 to set up database. First it has checked the setting, and now it's going to set up database. It has done. Now we need to install some basic configuration settings. Few are mandatory and few are optional, so you need to select the optional one. See, there you have to select the Mark flavor. Mark is machine readable cataloging, and the Mark 2.1 is actually used globally around the world, and Unimark is actually used in a few European countries. So we will go with Mark 2.1, but if you are convenient with Unimark, so you can have. Okay, now those are some mandatory settings. There's some fishy with my browser. Okay, and you can select all, like fast framework, like matching rules, and there we have some framework for different types of material. They are mandatory, and you can select all of them or some of them. For example, you can drop this is actually the sample patterns type, so you can create your pattern types later on. And this is actually the some basic currencies, and then some of the basic currencies, barcode setting. I mean, not the barcode setting, it's actually the pattern attribute types. And you can see the sample label and the pattern card data. Okay, a set of default item types, sample libraries, sample patterns, and the Z3 9.50 clients. So we need all of them, and import. And it might take few times. Sometimes it's actually failure because of the internet speed. So you need to refresh this, and there's no need to worry about it. And it has done all the things except one, and that is sample libraries holidays. So we can skip this. We will set later on. And all done. And now we are going to configure the onboarding tool. It's saying congratulations, installation completed, and now we are going for the onboarding tool. So Koha welcome us. So we need to provide the library code. So your library code will not change. You can change the name of the library, for example, but the code will remain same. So you need to select carefully a code here. So I'll go with the main. and then the category code. So I will select the category is for the administrator account. I will say librarian. Overdue required. Yes, we need overdue. And the privacy will be default. The staff category type is, the category type is a staff, and the enrollment period, for example, 60 months, that is 5 years. Or you can provide the date for, the expiry date of this category. Remember, we are going to create a category that is for administrator. Now we need to create one pattern that will be the super librarian, and you need to provide the surname. For example, let me take my name here. And the card number, for example. And this account will work on your Koha login as the super librarian. Remember, you need to remember this password and the login credential, whatever, to log in Koha system. If you forgot this, you cannot log in Koha. But there are ways. I have a video on this, so you can have that video. Okay. So the password would be, okay. Now all done, and there you need to create a circulation rule for the category that we have created for all branches. By default we will use the default, and later on we can change the circulation rules, and there's no harm in it. Now all done, the installation, the web installer and the onboarding tools, and we are going to ready to log in for the very first time in Koha staff interface. I will use this account because if you will use the library account, the Koha account, you cannot log in with that. That account is actually to configure your Koha configuration file. See, this is actually Koha 22.11 on Ubuntu 22.04, and it's quite impressive and it's quite good. The interface of the staff interface, all the modules are available here. You can see this Koha, so we can see the Koha check-in, check out, renewal. Wow. So we can go with the Opaque as well. Opaque is as usual, it was. Okay, anyhow, so this is the staff interface, and you can see the Perl modules, system information, license, team, timeline. If you want to learn about Koha from the beginning, you can have this timeline. Now let us move to the home folder, and I'll show you how you actually configure the network when you have the real IP to configure. There you can see Y connection, Y setting. All you need to do is to plug your real IP and to configure the network. That's it. See, this is actually right now the network. This is IPv4. And it's automatically. If you have any other IP, you can actually configure manual, and you can provide the address, you can provide the net mask, gateway, DNS, all such thing you need to provide, and your system will run on the IP. For example, let me take this IP and I'll show you your system will work on the IP. See, the same system is working, And this IP is actually, you need to add this IP in the C panel of your website, and there you will create some ports, and you will easily work on it. Just one thing you need to do, you need to configure your IPv4. You need to have a real IP for this purpose, not the dynamic IPs. The dynamic IPs always change. So, for example, right now I have this IP, and after some time I will see some other IP. Okay. Again, see what you need to do. You need to come at the wire connection here and the wire setting, or instead of doing, you can search the network here and you can come to the setting in the configuration, and there you can configure manually or automatically. If your IP connected, if you work with the connected real IP, so there's no need to configure, it will select automatically. Okay. Now, thank you very much for watching Raflims. This is Farooq Hussain. We have installed the Koha 22.11 on Ubuntu 22.04, and in the future videos we will work on this system. We will try to work on this system from beginning, from all the things. We will work on all modules like cataloging, we will work on report, administration, gradually. Okay, so thank you for watching Raflims. This is Farooq Hussain. Take care yourself, and if you need guideline, still you need guideline, so you can write to me in the comments section of this video. And you need to subscribe this channel, you need to like this video, and you need to share this video. And what you need to do, you need to inform your colleagues about a channel that is actually working on the library technology and the information management technology, so people may come to know about this channel. So thank you very much for watching Raflims, and take care yourself.